Quote from Brad Garlinghouse: Ripple is committed to make XRP the most trusted, useful, and liquid digital asset on the damn planet. End quote. And you're so scared, right? Not you, maybe not you, but there are people that are fearful, guys, that what if XRP won't go to the heights we dreamt of? But this comes from the horse's mouth himself, talking about, no, they will. They will achieve that goal, guys, right, of making XRP the king. So I wouldn't be too scared. Today we're going to be mainly talking about price action and maybe some more news. Again, I think there was XRP Las Vegas event taking place over the weekend. So let's go. Hyper liquid whale longed XRP with a 12x leverage, guys. His entry price is $2.13. His the position value is about $1 million. Okay, so people are still buying and longing XRP. Perhaps it's because they are bullish. Now this comes from Water Above. He says, "Dear XRP Army, the bottom on XRP should be in by June 4th to the 6th." Wait, what? So in the coming days, right, XRP will be bottomed out. I really do hope they delayed a bit, right? Because I'm trying to buy in. And I'm going to talk about why and the path that XRP will be taking. And I think we called it. After June 18th, expect a straight line breakout to $10 by late July and early August. In the meantime, watch out for the week ahead. June 3rd to the 6th will be heavy manipulation. Oh yeah, I was going to say, it's a new brand week, guys, okay? And manipulation is going to skyrocket and be through the roof. So let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about what's happening with XRP and everything, guys. And remember, I did throw a long, but it got liquidated of like 100 and something XRP. So let's see what happened. So last time we were talking about XRP's price charts, we were right here. Okay, we did dump. Okay, we bounced, but my target was where was my target? $10. I mean $2.10. $2.10, guys, right here. Okay, that was my first target. I threw a long right there. We pumped, but we came back down. I think I went like near 100x. We came back down. I took some out, a small loss, and then I entered back. And where was it? I think it was here, guys. So let's go back here, right? I re-entered over here, and then when we started to pump, I was like, okay, hopefully it just goes, and I just passed out, right? I literally passed out because I was so tired, guys. At this point, and then they pumped it. I was in a trade and I forgot to put a stop loss, and it just went down for the liquidity grab, and then they pumped it afterwards. Look what came up, right? So we got that call relatively correct. It was right here, guys. I did go a percent lower, which is kind of bad. It wasn't that precise, but so we're back at this level. Now I did say something, if you guys didn't remember. The entry price will be here, but if XRP tags $2.09, it's game over. Okay? If an XRP did tag this level, by the way, which means the next Fibonacci level has been activated, folks. I repeat, XRP will probably go under $2 at some point in time. I hope they take a bit of time, right? Because I do wish I would like to buy in, and I hope they don't just dump it, right? I hope there are retraces along the way. Look what I say right here. It's happening from Ripple, and what's happening to XRP for 5 cents, okay, right here. And yeah, if we do come to this level, guys, if we do come to this level, by the way, right here, right, about $2.09, yeah, XRP is gonna die, I think. And we touched that level, guys, right? We shouldn't have. We should have held this right here. This would have been perfect, right? We touched it perfectly as well. Come up, hold this level, and start pumping. That would have been such a perfect path, guys, but they chose to go in the dump path. Okay, now the thing is, the daily divergence is still forming as we speak, guys. Okay, it needs to hold 213. I don't know if it will, to be honest. It looks like it's gonna dump. At some point there will be a retrace. Okay, at some point there will be a retrace. During this retrace, probably come all the way back down, guys. Okay, and I hope they do hold it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna hold it at these levels down here before we blast off, right? But let's talk about XRP versus Bitcoin, okay? So basically, so far we're in the know. The path is clear. So on XRP versus Bitcoin, on the same video that I just showed you guys, I told you guys we need to get above this level and this level. So let's go back to the video and let's see what I said. XRP versus Bitcoin. Yeah. What I want to see here, guys, I want to see like something like this, right? But immediately snap back up to this level. The reason being is because we have to be above this level, guys. We're right now below it, but on the 12-hourly candles, right? And what happened? We dropped below and we snapped back to that level. Guess what? It held resistance. That's bad news, bear. Extremely bad news, guys. Okay, so things are looking more bearish in the short term, I would say, in my humble opinion. We still need to get above this level. Look how it's holding resistance, right? That's so crazy. We're on point here. Now, what I'm thinking on this chart, guys, it's that, okay, so on the higher time frames, there are bullish divergences forming, right, or trying to form on the weekly. What they may do is they may come down like this, right? But the way we'll know the true reversal will take place is that on like the 3-day, the 2-day, and the daily would need to have bullish divergences, right? At this point, it's like getting killed. So right now, I'm leaning more bearish, to be fair, but at some point they will retrace XRP before a further drop. We'll see though, right? I do hope they do take a bit of time because I would like to buy some XRP before that pump arrives, right, to new all-time highs. Now, look at this tweet. There is a pattern. It's literally the same pattern of 2017, right? And we're at the end points, guys. Look at this, 2017, and this comes off 2025, right? We're at that dip where it's the final dip. This fractal shows, right? If that's the case, yeah, it's go time, which makes sense, right? Which makes sense. So, Mr. Zoom says the next lot of buy orders are coming in at $2, right? That's the next Fibonacci level, if I'm not mistaken. Where is it at? Let's see. Yep, right here, guys. Right? Since it went to that $2.09 level, at some point it's going to go to the 0.5 Fibonacci level. Okay? And then if it breaks that, it's going to go to the 618. But at some around those levels, it's probably going to hold support for the next like higher. We just need money to flood in, right? The way we could achieve that goal is by XRP ETFs.
XRP whale friend of mine, and I just believe it. I believe it has a use case. I believe, as I've been widely quoted, the Ripple people are very professional people. They are single-minded in their purpose, and they're like the Borg. If anybody remembers the Star Trek Borg, they're going toward their goal of creating this ecosystem that's going to support XRP and a lot of other things. And so we believe in it. We want to launch ETFs. We believe in, and it was natural to do XRP since no one can actually have a physical XRP exchange traded fund just yet. It naturally has to be derivatives. Again, I'm a commodities derivatives guy. It was in our wheelhouse. We did it.
Well, I think that you.
So yeah, we need more ETFs to go live, guys, and we actually need ETFs to go live, right? Because that will be spot buying instead of just like betting on the futures, okay? Future price of XRP. In reality, we need market spot buys, right? And that will come in with due to the ETFs. So that will be extremely bullish whenever it does occur. Hopefully, the month of June. Flying home after a brief trip to speak at an XRP conference in Vegas, right? Impressive, he says, because there's so many people there. Exactly. So don't be worried, guys, because Brad Garlinghouse basically said we are going to surprise the world about how big of a dent we can put in the universe. And how will they do that? Exactly by this from Ripple. They're showcasing or saying one of the oldest and largest foreign exchange agencies in Portugal is expanding its global footprint with Ripple payments. Right, there's utility behind XRP. I know we talk about the day-to-day of XRP's price action, right? Because I don't want people to be worried. But if you look to the long term, why are you worried?
Nós acreditamos que esta parceria entre a Unicâmbio e a Ripple vai conseguir com que cheguemos muito mais longe. A Unicâmbio é a maior e mais antiga agência de câmbios em Portugal, com mais de 30 anos de experiência no mercado. A Ripple é o parceiro ideal porque tem a tecnologia, tem a grande rede global e tem uma solução que tem qualidade e um custo que faz sentido para aquilo que neste momento a Unicâmbio precisa para as transações internacionais. Ripple Payments consegue nos fazer com que nós possamos ter clientes empresa, fazer transferências entre duas empresas, uma em Portugal e uma no Brasil, de forma rápida, segura e com liquidez. Vemos grandes oportunidades para expandir para novos corredores, explorar novos serviços que a Ripple nos pode trazer, continuar a inovar no setor dos pagamentos.
Yep, talking about the bridge, guys, right, between countries and nations and just overall. So I wouldn't be too worried if I were you. Now, look at what XRP Mickle says, guys. Okay, this is interesting. Let's check this.
Hi guys, I'm here at XRP Vegas with my favorite influencer. Guys, I'm a little nervous. I'm here with Mickle.
Hey, it's great to be here. Super excited to get to meet you. Somehow we went the entire conference without seeing each other, so this interview is long overdue today.
It is long overdue. Okay, so I feel like besides Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz, you are the king of XRP. So I want to ask you a question. It's going to be a basic question so you can explain to my audience the importance and value of XRP and how it is going to transform global finance and payment settlements.
Absolutely. And let me say, she is way too good to me. I appreciate that so much. But, you know, the most important thing to understand about XRP is for a very long time, the global settlement infrastructure and the interbank communication network has been relying on a technology that was built in the 1950s. And it's hard for us to necessarily see that as consumers because we have apps like Robinhood and we have apps like PayPal. And it seems like everything's just going really well. But on the downside or underneath, it's an absolute mess because the technology that underpins all of these new applications has not been updated. So what is changing is rather than essentially doing a relay race of money back and forth between all these financial institutions from one to the other and having humans on the back end changing databases and reconfirming and then messing things up, you now have a technology that can teleport money anywhere in the entire world instantaneously. And I compare it to essentially going from communicating information with letters and physical mail to being able to send an email. And the same thing is happening for money. So right now with money, we're still in that stage where we're doing the equivalent of sending an envelope of money back and forth between these banking institutions. But the second we can start teleporting that money back and forth like email, you see drastic levels of efficiencies where not only are the things we have today exponentially more powerful and more efficient, but we'll create things that have never existed before.
Exactly, guys. So basically, the long term is still looking amazing, right? Even though if we do dump a bit, it doesn't matter, guys. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. At some point, XRP will have this retrace moment, right? Because it's lagging heavy against Bitcoin, and when it does, it's going to be so explosive, guys. Okay, so I'll be prepared for that day. Dips are for buying and not for selling. Now, for each way, so let us prepare. But it was so face, see ya.